Breakfast. Dog. Breakfast. Dog. I don't have any propane, so I made breakfast. Dog wants to have some too, I guess, even though she already had her food. Okay, I'm sitting here trying to eat my breakfast, and she wants to be petted, and she wants to be petted, and I only have 2 arms and 2 hands. So I've got a bit of a problem here. One thing about either living out in the country or really no matter where you live is, do you have a backup plan if for some reason you can't cook in the house? Maybe the power has gone out. It could be for almost any reason. Do you have some backup plan for cooking? In my case, I ran out of propane. I know I was low, but I still thought it would last a little longer than it did. Well, turns out there was a leak. I went without propane for 3 days, and they finally came with the truck and filled it up. Or they didn't fill the tank up. I only bought 44 gallons. And I think that tank holds like 250 gallons. But they discovered there's a leak. They put some silicone around it and a stop-get method of fixing it. Well, last night I tried to turn the stove on, and I've had issues in the past and ran completely out of propane when a part broke, or I just didn't have the cash flow to get propane. And I've always, every 100% of the time the stove would just turn right on. Well, it didn't last night. So it does need cleaning, so I'm going to clean it this morning and try a few things before I contact anybody. But the fact is, I don't have a way to cook on my stove. And I haven't for several days. But I have backup plans. Of course, I have electricity, so my crock pot and pressure cooker and those kinds of things work. Don't have a microwave. But all that stuff won't work in a power outage. And if a huge storm comes and knocks out all your, the power to everybody in the neighborhood, what are you going to do to prepare food if you have no electricity? I know a few years ago there was an ice storm in the country, and somebody in one of my groups posted that when she went shopping and was in the stores and people were buying, prepping for the storm, their carts were full of frozen dinners. Well, how are they going to cook them? They can't. If the power goes out, there's no microwave oven. And so I challenge you, if you haven't already done this, think about your next meal. How are you going to prepare it if you have no electricity? If your stove works on gas and the gas supply is interrupted, you have no gas, how are you going to prepare a meal? No gas, no propane, no electricity. Your stove doesn't work. All your electric appliances do not work. Wherever you are, how are you going to prepare food? Now, some of you can just throw the grill. You've got somebody in the family loves to grill, and you can grill that way. But if for the next week, 100% of your meals had to be prepared using alternative methods, how would you prepare them? What would you do? Think about that. And maybe try a few meals. Have a fun Saturday where every meal of the day is prepared in your alternative method. Have fun and think about it, because it's going to happen. What do you guys want? I'm just sitting here eating my breakfast. You're supposed to be grazing. You haven't been out that long. Did you guys pig out on hay before I let you out? The sun hadn't been up for that long. I'll put you back in when I finish my breakfast. I'm almost done. I don't think you'd like pancakes and eggs. Well, you might like the pancakes. Oopsie, hey. Last summer, my beautiful, lovely sun oven started falling apart. I was kind of getting bummed, but at the same time, I could tell it wouldn't require too much repair work. Well, I had it in storage in the house, kept putting it off, and then I ran out of propane. And it became an issue, so I repaired it. The major issue was this little part came completely off. The holes that the screws go into, it rotted, I guess, I don't know. And so I got some Gorilla Glue and I glued it all in, and I was having trouble keeping it down. Finally found a pair of cutters to cut branches. I can't think of the name. Laid it on and it held. The weight held. And so I've been using it for several days now. I've made enchiladas. Here's lunch. It's pretty much done. Now south of me, there's a chance of rain, but not here. But the clouds clearly have moved in. And so the temperature didn't get as high. In fact, the sun's behind a cloud right now. But I tested it and they're squishy. They could probably be a little more squishy, but they're squishy. The meat, of course, didn't brown because it's a solar oven, but it had been in the freezer. The broccoli had been in the freezer. It's all hot. I've got sour cream and butter in the house, so I forgot to bring a container to unload everything. So I got to go do that, but everything's ready. I can go have some lunch now. But here's another means I have of cooking. In fact, I have used the sun oven to reheat food during a power outage. When I had food in the fridge, it just needed to be reheated, and I threw it in here and was able to reheat some lunch during a 3 or 4 hour power outage once. That was years ago. But I've made potato salad in here. The other day, the day after I got it fixed, I put potatoes in a container, I can't think of what kind of container it's called, and cooked the potatoes and then made potato salad. I've done a lot of things. So this is like the third meal, I guess, since I fixed it. I wanted to do, I have a cake mix, a gluten-free cake mix I wanted to do, but I don't have enough butter to do that. And I forgot to buy butter at the grocery store yesterday when I went into town. So that's, I'll have to wait on that. But in the past, I have made cakes, I've made brownies, I've cooked chicken with vegetables. I have done so many things, custard. Honestly, in the summer, I will not use the oven, the stove oven in the summer. That just heats up the house, uses a ton of propane, won't do it. I just want to, most days here it's sunny. And to me, this is an essential appliance, especially for baking. Now, there's solar cookers too, which you can do other things with. They're not an oven-like thing. And honestly, I wish I had a solar cooker too, because I'd do a lot more out here and less in the house. Because I don't care. I mean, it's already hot out here. I don't care if it gets hotter. I mean, it's not going to get hotter, and the sun's free energy. But I now, after almost a year of, I think it was late summer, early fall that it really broke last year. So it's fixed and I can start using it, and I'm so thrilled to be able to get back to cooking with my solar oven.